All right, Hawkeye. Let's see you beat this. Come on.
Hello everyone, Arg, and welcome to our first YouTube review. I'm Jen, the board game librarian.
I'm Matt, the dice chucker.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Emily, and we are Board Game Dog.
Today we are taking a look at a game called Skull King, designed by Brent Beck, also known as Grandpa Beck. And this is from Grandpa Beck's Games. 2 to 6 players, ages 8 and up, roughly 30 minutes. So to tell us a little bit about how the game plays, I'll send it off to Mike.
Okay. Skull King is a trick-taking game for 2 to 6 players. A trick-taking game with 4 suits and a bunch of special cards that you can play out of suit, potentially to hopefully either win or lose the trick, depending on the amount of bids you've given for the round. There are also in the Legendary expansion other various cards and abilities, but we're not going to go too in-depth on that in this video.
So we were both sent copies of Skull King, and do you want to talk about the presentation on how you received the game?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we got Skull King in the mail, and it came with these little bags full of little pieces of 8, and it came with an eye patch, sported by Jen, and gold earrings, sported by the boys, which are... fantastic.
They are quite fantastic.
And it was so cute. The theme is fantastic, and it's just really thoughtful. Also with a card and a personalized note, which was really, really nice.
Yeah, I was really impressed. Was this, you said this was the first game you guys had been sent to?
Yeah, this was our first one, and we were very pleased.
Yeah, started off with a bang.
Yeah.
So, do we want to go into what we thought about the game, about the experience? Any other thoughts on presentation before we move on?
Go for it.
Well, I think component quality of the cards is good. That seems to be such an interesting topic recently, and how well the cards are done, whether it's a linen finish or standard. This is a standard finish, but there's still decent card stock. We've got a lot of games nowadays where the card stock's a bit too flimsy. This one was just right, because you are shuffling the deck a lot.
Yep.
So they're going to have to be able to keep up.
Yeah, and we've played the game 5 times now, shuffling between every single round, and you still don't, even with black backing on the cards, you don't see any nicks, you don't see any creases, tears, things like that. I'm very pleased with how the cards turned out.
I agree, and it all did fit in this tiny little box here. So, this didn't fit in there.
Right. Came in a little larger box.
So you said you were pleased with it.
Yeah, we've played it 5 times now, and the more we played it, the more we loved it. We've played it a few times with 4 people, and then once with 5.
Yes.
And we think the more people, the merrier. It goes up to 6. We haven't done it at anything lower than 4, but with the 4 and 5 player count, it's been really, really good.
Yeah, so the first time we played was with the 4 of us and someone from an Extra Life event, and I think almost all of us knew what a trick-taking game was. We knew about playing suits and trumps. I'm not sure any of us had played a trick-taking game with betting, though.
This is my first bidding trick-taking game.
Mine as well,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's something I actually liked in this genre. I know there's other games that do it, but this was the first one I played that had it, and I really enjoyed that part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's one of the better parts of the game. I think it adds a lot of stress when you look at your cards and you're going through. You really have to think, how many bids do I think I can win just off the cards I have in my hand? Then you go a layer deeper of, well, what do my opponents potentially have? Do I want to bid lower? Do I want to bid higher? And the scoring system for that is wonderful.
Shall we demonstrate?
Yeah.
For the bidding, yes.
Sure.
Oh.
So to keep in with the theme of pirates, you have to hold your hand out with fist, and we always go,
Yo ho ho!
We hold out how many fingers we think we're
That
going to
was really
win
good,
on
guys.
bids.
That was really
That was
good.
really
I think that was our best attempt.
That was the best attempt.
My only attempt.
Yes, Mike's only attempt. It would have been funny starting off with you trying to bid with Hawkeye.
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
We could try to make that happen, yes. So, your thoughts, Matt?
I really enjoyed the game. I will say about the scoring, I would recommend you play with somebody who knows how to score. If you're a first timer and wanting to jump into a trick taking game, the scoring can be a little tricky. So playing it with somebody who understands how to score will enhance the experience for you, and the more you play, the more you yourself will get used to scoring the game.
It's just wonky.
Yeah.
And it's not straightforward. There are different things are different values, and you lose different values for different things.
And then you have the rare occasion where a mermaid can capture the Skull King, and that's worth a ton of points.
Right.
Right there.
Yep.
Right.
I think that's where, even once you are used to how the scoring works, getting those bonuses of, okay, did you get your bids right? And then everyone has to look through every single one of their tricks to count up their bonus points and potentially count up the extra bonus points from the legendary expansion and things like that. Can kind of slow the game down. But I think once you're used to how the scoring works, someone can be doing the scoring while someone else is shuffling up for the next round, and I think that can speed things along. What did we think of the special power cards? I know we're not going to go into what they do, but for example, being able to play a Kraken to cancel a trick, or being able to play a pirate or an escape card off suit. I think those are great. Again, it's the first trick-taking game I've played with bidding, but I think those add a lot of excitement to what would otherwise be a I have the higher number, I have the lower number type of game. I think being able to play them off suit is wonderful.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I would also say that there's no reason why you can't play this at any time without the expansion. The expansion, I think you go into the game right away and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I think especially the Kraken card adds a lot of tension. You're shuffling the deck in every time, and you're like, you're looking around, I wonder if anyone has that card.
Yeah, and it creates a lot of moments where it's like, oh, you played that, oh, you played that, oh, the Kraken! And it's just like, it's just fun.
It's really great too in round one when everyone only has one card.
Yeah.
If the Kraken pops up, someone's got Skull King.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And in our last game that we played, someone played the Skull King and basically threw it down in the last hand with a smirk, and then the last person in the trick played the Kraken.
Yep.
And it was fantastic.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, the timing on that for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think there's so much to like about this game too. In both of our notes, it did say that it plays best with 4 to 6, and I would agree. So Matt and I have played it 3 times. We played it the first time 4 plus 1. Last night we played it with 2 players. This is one of those instances where this is not a 2-player game. I would maybe even say 3 to 6. It was there were a couple of things that didn't work. Like if the number of bids between the 2 of us didn't match up to the number round that we were in, like someone was definitely going to get screwed over no matter what. Like if you were too low or too high. And our points were fluctuating mostly in the negatives for a really long time.
The coins made no sense. The alliances.
Yeah,
made
the
no
alliance
sense in
didn't
the
make any
2-player.
sense.
Now, I'm not sure. Maybe I missed something on the rules that you take those out for a 2-player, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah, but the 4-player and the 5-player games that we have done, I think have been super fun.
Great. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Especially the one that the 4 of us just played before we started doing this review. I mean, we were cursing at each other. There were moments and and this is going to be a long ride home moments. So I think on that aspect, I think it captures the cutthroat pirate theme 100%. Like you could be pirates with these cards in your hand on your ship and be throwing your pieces of 8 at each other.
Yep.
Yeah. So what didn't we like about the game?
I do think it can be a little on the long side. Having to reshuffle every round, deal out that amount of cards every round, doing the scoring, things like that. It's not, and I don't even know if this is necessarily a negative as much as when I think of other trick-taking games we have, like Trick of the Rails or something like that. It's more of a filler game, you know? It's something when you finish your first game of game night, you play before you set up your second game of game night.
Yeah.
And I don't think this fits in. But I do think it's a great end of the game, start of game night type of game. It's just not something I would bust out in the middle. And there are included variants in the rule book to play a shorter game. You can play a 5-round game where you deal 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cards and just play that way, things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. That would be the only real problem I had. I thought the rule book was pretty concise and clear on all points. We were confused on our first game, and everything we were able to find right in the rule book. We didn't have to go to, the internet to search for an answer.
Right.
We could even call Grandpa back.
You can even call Grandpa back. His phone number is in the instruction manual.
It's legit in there, folks.
But not in this review.
And there's a recipe for a
Flash it.
pie, I believe.
There
is!
Yes.
The cook's pie.
Yeah.
When I had posted this on Instagram a couple of days ago, someone from Grandpa Beck's did respond, and they responded with what a family affair this really is. You know, Grandpa Beck does the games. One of the daughters maybe does the marketing. Someone went out. Another family member went out and shopped for like the little accessories. Another one did the calligraphy on our notes. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I really like that a lot, too. That it's a family affair and people, are bonding together for this mission.
Yeah, and it just makes it seem so genuine.
Yeah.
And not just to make money. Like it's just comes from the heart, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was a negative for you, Matt?
I didn't really have many. Like I said, the only thing I would say is make sure you're playing with somebody the first time that can do the scoring. And if not, take your time with the scoring. If you absolutely cannot find somebody who's played Skull King that hasn't done the scoring, take your time. Don't rush into it and say, "Oh, I won a trick, so I must get this many points." Read it again just to make sure.
Right.
Because that can make or break the game.
Absolutely.
Yep. And remembering the bonuses, scoring them separately, things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
But once you get that down,
smooth sailing.
it's a good game.
It was really smooth sailing.
Yeah.
I think my negative is that it's not a 2-player game. I think doing 2-player trick-taking is very difficult, and the only one that has mastered that is Fox in the Forest for us. Diamonds we like a lot, too, at 2. I think it's even better with more, but it's comfortable at 2. It was not a 2-player game for us, and that's okay. And now that we know that,
it's a hard genre of games to make 2-player. So
yeah, I'm curious why it is so difficult.
Yeah.
I think it's just the level of interaction, and when you have, and I'm almost surprised it didn't work 2-player like this, because when you have special actions that add into it, I think that can make for a good 2-player game, because other trick-taking games that we've tried 2-player that doesn't have that, it's always just been, I played the 12. Do you have higher than 12?
And that's kind of how it came out last night.
Yeah.
Like all of the specials weren't coming up, and we were shuffling well. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? Do we have more that we'd like to add to our review?
I think it's definitely something that's going to stay in our collection.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I think it's something we're always going to bring to any game night where we think we're going to need, start of game, quick, fun, easy, and end of game, laughter-filled evening. It's not going to be something we play every week, but I do expect it to see fairly continuous play at our game groups for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and I think, this is something you can bring to a bar or a restaurant.
Yeah.
We played this at a party because nothing was going on, so...
Yeah, I see that too. And I'm not sure I would play this with new gamers necessarily.
There are other trick-taking games you can have as a gateway.
Yeah, it's maybe like a step up of sorts after like a beginner trick-taking. But yeah, I agree. I mean, everything from me, from like the card artwork,
Yeah.
you know, and the colors were vibrant and fun. To, you know, the backs on there too. It's not a huge box, so it's not wasting a lot of space. And then just the fun that we've had playing it. I agree. Trick taking has really become a game that has risen a lot, I think, for us since last year when we found Fox in the Forest.
Yeah, us too. We just recently started trick taking, and we're really loving the ones that we played.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
All right, and this is near the top.
Cool.
All right.
So thumbs up from everyone, I suppose.
Yeah. This would easily get like a 8 out of 10 on BGG from me.
I think so. Yeah, that
Pretty
sounds
solid.
about right.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm notoriously stingy, so I won't give a rating.
Oh boy.
Matt will make the joke that my passing grade, like a good game, is a 7.5.
A solid C.
That is a good game.
All right, I think that's it for this review. Thanks for watching. You can find us on Instagram.
We are boardgame_dog because our dog is awesome. And there's beautiful pictures of our beautiful dog. And also board games.
You have a Twitter as well?
I have a Twitter and it's boardgame_Emily. Just me, not Mike. Just me.
All right, we want to go next, Matt?
Dice Chucker. There's a period between the word dice and chucker.
On Instagram?
On Instagram. I'm staying away from Twitter.
Yeah. Mike is on Emily's Instagram.
Yeah,
I have nothing of my own.
Yeah,
That's
Board Game
thank
Dog
you.
is both of us. My Twitter is mine.
You can find me Instagram, boardgame.librarian. I recently joined Twitter, somewhat begrudgingly. It's
tweets.
Board Game Libra 1. I gotta try to fix that. I have a blog on BGG, do some Dice Tower stuff. So yes, Emily and I are on Favorite Game Friday together, and with some occasional Hawkeye who appears. That's all.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Yar!